Okay guys, I am watering the garden. I just figured I would bring you out with me while I'm doing this and give you a quick tour. I started it earlier this morning while I was filling the water tank to go water Dan's garden. And then the kids and I went and watered Dan's garden and picked potato bugs, the little striped beetles, and their eggs, because even though there's never been potatoes planted over there, probably ever, the bugs found them. So we had to deal with those. And then now it's about 11 o'clock, so it's a little hot to be doing this, but I haven't watered for a few days, so I need to get this garden finished up. We are in just like the craziest drought. There's been so many times it was supposed to rain here, and then we'll just watch it break up and go around us on the radar. Or there's been a few times where it's rained, I don't even know if you can call it rain. It's sprinkled a little bit, not even really enough to knock the dust down. So we are doing so much hand watering between all the trees that we planted this year and both of the gardens. I did work on starting a video for Dan's garden and the orchard to show you guys, and the secret garden, which I should go check and see if anything's alive in there, because I actually have not even watered that one. That one's in a little more shade, so I'm hoping it's fine, but I don't know. It's just, and like, of course, the year we decide to plant a million trees and have a bunch of different gardens, there's going to be like a ridiculous drought. So I'm going to flip you around and show you what I'm doing. So I kind of want to deep water each area as I go, because I do not have enough time to water all of the spaces every day. And I'm also not using a sprinkler this year. The main reason for that is because of this drought, the areas that are not getting watered right now, I'm not having a lot of weeds growing. Like, on a normal year, if it was raining a lot, this would be full of weeds. It's just not that bad this year. So I don't want to water the whole garden. If I sprinkle it, the whole garden's going to get watered. If I use the hose, I can kind of pick and choose and hand water as I go. Yeah, so just kind of going around. I got zinnias in pots, which I'm really amazed that they're survived, because I'm sure it gets so hot and dry in there. But whatever, my little climbing rose is gonna bloom. I need to tie him up. I think the mailman's here because the dog is going nuts. But my VEGEGA garden beds are looking beautiful. I don't really water these any more than I water anything else. They hold their moisture pretty well, and that's sand in there. So I love it. This one, the radishes are starting to bolt, and that's just because it's so hot. It has nothing to do with the bed. It's been in the upper 90s for the last week. You can actually eat radish seed pods. So if they start to bolt, and especially if they're bolting when there's just not a big radish formed, I will let them go to seed and eat the seed pods. It kind of looks like a pea almost, but it tastes like a radish, just not very strong radish flavor. I need to come through here and weed a little bit. I'm debating on if I want to do a second sowing of radishes in there right now for the row that I had eaten, or just wait, because it's likely any that I planted right now would just bolt because it's so hot. And then I've got the beets and turnips and kohlrabi in here. I have no idea about beets. If you guys know anything about them, when the heck are they ready? Is this like they're gonna grow for a bajillion more years? I've never even eaten them. I think you can eat the greens too. I don't know. They're just there. But yeah, everything, let's come down here. It's looking so good. See, my little white clematis is growing. The purple clematis is growing. This is my favorite rose bush. I'm gonna try and pick some of these that are doing, like this one, and probably, I don't know, he's got a little one with him. And he's almost dead. Okay, maybe nobody's getting picked from this run. I wanted to take a bouquet in the house. This one smells the best out of all my roses. I absolutely love it. If you want to know what kind it is, his little tag is right here. Hybrid Tea Rose Sweet Mademoiselle, it looks like. I got it at Home Depot a couple years ago. It's fabulous. My little red rose is still blooming. And my hollyhocks have started to bloom, which I wasn't really paying attention, so I came out here one day and was like, oh goodness, the hollyhocks have started, which is fabulous. Strawberries, whew, stepped on my thing. The strawberries are about done. There's a couple going, but at this point I think I'm going to take my netting off because they're not really doing that much. So pretty. I love those. Okay. Move the hose to the next area. And so the only downside about watering with the hose really is that it's a long hose. Like I think I have 150 feet of hose, and this is like a cheap hose and it gets kinked all the time. So I'm constantly having to go find where the kink is and fix it so that it can keep watering. But a hose long enough to water my whole garden that is sturdier would have been stupid expensive, so I just make do with what I have. Cabbages are looking good over here. So I have my Brussels sprouts and then broccoli. This one is looking more like a cabbage. Oops, there we go. He's looking more like a cabbage than a Brussels sprout to me. I don't know what happened. He was in my Brussels sprout area with all the other Brussels sprout seeds, so I'd say either I dropped a cabbage seed in there or somehow there got a cabbage seed in that seed pack. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. I don't care either way. It's just funny. Peppers are doing good. Some of them are a little stunted, and really that has to do with, even though it's been, you know, in the 90s during the day, a lot of the days or the nights it's still bringing it down in the 50s and even the 40s. We've had a couple in the higher 30s. Peppers don't like that. So they're a little stunted. It's okay. These roses are all beautiful. I need to come through and deadhead some yet, but they just look so beautiful. Everything over here is doing good. Something nibbled this sunflower over here, and I thought it was going to die, but it's still going. So I'm tempted to tie it up and push a bunch of soil around where he got nibbled, and we'll see if it lives or not. I don't know. Okra, ooh, I have a very sad okra there that needs water. It's okay, I'm coming for you, buddy. And you can see the grow tower hasn't been watered for a few days because everything in here is looking rather sad, but trust me, I'll do a really deep water. I'll fill the top all of the way, and then I will also do the individual pots since it is so dry, and then he should be fine. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. I started tying them up. I need to tie them up again. I need to water them heavy. Garlic, doing great. Been eating lots of scapes. I mean, everything really for the drought is looking good despite that, and there's hours and hours and hours of work every week watering all the different things that need to be watered right now. But I am happy with how it's going. It's just keeping me busy. What's on my dahlia? It was just a fly. Dahlias will start blooming soon. It's exciting, but all right, keeping it short today since I just did a big garden tour last week. That's how things are looking this week. It's the 23rd of July, I think. It's Friday. So I'll post this later today, but here's what the garden is looking like in our little never-ending drought. I'll show you a picture of Dan's garden and with the kids watering it this morning, and then hopefully next week I'll post a video from that other garden so you can get the full tour.